Woke up this morning, as many people did, to an article in Axios that, man, just isn't it? Squad politics backfire, the article says, with a photo of the squad looking morose for what they've done. They've ruined the Democrats and the Democrats' electoral chances. Well, that is a bold claim to make, considering that the squad collectively has like no power in the Democratic Party. We have a moderate Democratic president. We have his agenda being derailed by other moderate Democrats. So, okay, with great claims demand great evidence. So, Mike Allen in Axios says the hard left politics of AOC and the so-called squad, once a dominant theme for vast numbers of elected Democrats, is back. First of all, demonstrate that. Like that is quite a claim to make and then just move on from. Yeah, the dominant theme. Anyway, it's backfiring big time on the party in power, top Democrats tell us. The push to defund the police, rename schools, and tear down statues has created a significant obstacle to Democrats keeping control of the House, the Senate, and the party's overall image. So again, top Democrats tell us. What sorts of Democrats? Are they members of the squad, or are they people that agree quite a bit ideologically with the exact moderates that have derailed Biden's agenda and have made it so that he's delivered so little over the last 6 months or so? Is it possible, Mike Allen, that they're a little bit defensive about the consequences of their political and ideological strategy? But no, Axios is just gonna take them at their word. Josh Gottheimer is quoted, co-chair of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, says, what I'm hearing at home and what I'm focused on are common sense bipartisan solutions, from tackling grocery and gas prices to cutting taxes and fixing our infrastructure to investing in law enforcement and fighting crime. They go then to former Senator Heidi Heitkamp, like a taste maker for the Democrats, says her fellow Democrats are hurting themselves by not speaking out more forcefully against liberal positions that alienate rural America. Now the brand is so toxic that people who are Democrats, the ones left, aren't fighting for the party. So that is all the proof that you need, Brett, that the Democrats are screwed. And obviously it is the fault of a few members of the House that haven't been put in charge of literally anything.
Right. Let me just break this down very simply. You put it very simply, but the politics of the squad is not defund the police, renaming schools, and tearing down statues. That's not it. That's not what the squad's about. The squad's about just open AOC's Twitter feed, restoring the child tax credit, wildly popular, expanding Medicare coverage and prescription drug aspects, wildly popular. All of that is the squad's politics. The right has basically just lied about what's happening on the left. And the left, the people in charge on the left, the people with power on the left, are not doing anything about it. People on the right are saying it's about critical race theory, it's about schools and parents having power over masks or something. They're saying that. And they're finding really successful messaging avenues. They're making a general population of whites feel like they're the victims. They're doing stuff. What the hell is Heidi Heitkamp doing? Saying, yeah, the right is just so good at pointing out what's wrong with us. Why don't you do something? Why don't you come up with a message? Why don't you point out what the right is doing? Or call me crazy, what your objectives are.
Yeah.
But sadly, they just, rather than trying to win, they're really hoping the Republicans are losers. And they're like, aren't the Republicans terrible? Aren't they horrible? Isn't that bad what they're doing? But not with a compelling argument for who you for. And what are you for? And those are things that Democrats, if they can isolate them and find a way to communicate effectively, people are actually for all those things. But this is ridiculous. And this guy, Mike Allen, is a total dweeb and just really loves this lazy ass approach where he's like, yeah, the police say that, basically taking the top Democrats saying like the people that are calling them out for what they're doing wrong are idiots. And that's like their primary source.
Yeah, and just quoting them and third way, and what is he then going to go to cite levels of support for policies that the the squad is pushing for? No, he's not interested in it. Like going back and looking at the promises that Biden made that got him elected that were far more left than the way they're governing now. It got them into office. Now they're not doing it and suddenly he's not popular. That's, I think, an area that you could think about a little bit, Mike Allen. But no, just listen to what these so-called centrists say and present that as definitive proof when obviously they're just doing preemptive damage control to make sure that people don't accurately place the blame on them. They're the ones that have been choosing this path. Manchin and Sinema have decided what gets to pass and what doesn't. So obviously they deserve the blame. We just talked about the child tax credit thing. Child tax credit, massively successful, would be massively popular. Moderates killed it. Damn progressives. They're clearly to blame for all of this. By the way, Heidi Heitkamp lost to a Republican doing the exact thing she says Democrats need to do, which is effectively pretend to be a Republican and assume for some reason that Republican voters will then vote for you instead of an actual Republican. She tried that, she got booted out of the Senate doing that. And now the message is exactly the same from the DCCC. Stop saying to defund the police, as if any of them are still saying that. Deny support for open borders or amnesty, which means play into all right-wing narratives about supposedly where Democrats are at in terms of immigration. Say that you're gonna keep the border safe. Say that you support the cops. Say just every single battleground that the right has dishonestly prepared, that they wanna wage the battle that will be this midterm election on. Stroll in there and say, look, the Republicans are really, really right, but love us anyway, don't hate us, accept everything that the Republicans have said, but still vote for us for some reason. That is their strategy. Anyway.
It is so dumb. It is so dumb. I hate feeling like there's losing. But what are they doing? Honestly, I haven't really heard. Here is the dynamic. I haven't heard from mainstream media anything from AOC. I used to, because they were like the same way that she's criticizing people like sexually frustrated people on the right. Like they thought she was like, I can hear it. Look at her. The camera loves her. Let's see what she has to say, making a bold statement. But now they aren't even this article doesn't have any quotes. There's no quotes from her. There's no both sides. There's no other side. They aren't going out and finding it. They aren't presenting any of it.
Yeah.
They just decided they're going to ignore her.
Well, can I propose a potential explanation before we go to our break? I mean, I think one reason is that they know how popular the positions of members of the squad are. So leading up to an election, talk about them a lot. I mean, they might say that they disagree with them, but get them out there, make sure that the voters see them. But then once you're in power, we don't want the voters still demanding we act on these things, so ignore them. Now, that's not a perfect explanation. AOC has been a little bit less vocal recently, but I don't think that it's a coincidence that they've been marginalized and are constantly being attacked. Whereas back during the election, you heard a lot more from them. It mirrors Biden's own rhetoric. He was being way more left in terms of the promises he was making. As soon as he gets into office, suddenly I got nothing for you. That's what it feels like at the very least. Okay,
right. And it's just such a difficult position to put action. It's such a difficult position to put people in who are advocating for these things that will help Democrats. And and right now there's a huge war going on for the poor votes, the poor people's votes, the lower working middle class votes. And the right wing is engaging it. The right wing elites are doing it, and they're fighting for getting votes of poor Americans. Yeah. They're not doing it by advocating for policies that will benefit poor Americans. They're doing quite the opposite. But the leaders of the populist movement in America are a billionaire and the Swanson broth heir, Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson, and the left party, which should be the party of the working people in America, instead of advocating for policies that will benefit their voters and attract more voters, are just like, I don't know what to do. People who are doing the things that we told our voters we were in it for are reminding us that we haven't done it in the 50 years we've been in office, and we're mad and we want them to shut up and wait their turn.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.